Lamar is there. Coach Mangini is here. Welcome back, Coach. Brew, you said you wanted to see Lamar, and there he is doing some pull-ups. Do you like this?
Do I like it?
Here we go.
I got 2 words to say, Coach. The box!
No.
Wow!
No, this
off-season box. Look, I love this because it shows leadership. It shows everybody you're bought into the new regime. And, I mean, I don't think they're practicing today, but you need to learn, there's a new system he actually has to learn too. So that's important. I think I wouldn't have written him off if he wouldn't have been here. But I think this is great, and I think he needs to be there to learn the new system.
Before Coach makes his triumphant return to the show, can I just ask you one follow-up question? So what if he bounces after today?
He showed that he's in step with the new leadership.
Okay.
I came to say hi to Jesse and get the playbook. And
Yeah, you don't want to be too available.
I'm going home to study it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
I'm
right.
going home to study it. So, yeah, I'm good.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't like it. I really don't like it.
You don't like him
You don't like him being there?
I just think okay, what was wrong with the last X amount of years? Why suddenly are we now at OTAs? Were they not important last year? Were they not important the year before?
Oh, Coach, this is...
Really?
Well, what do you want to do?
Did you not like John Harbaugh? Like, what was the reason you had? Why is this suddenly important now when it hasn't been important any other year?
But it would be more important if there's a new coach.
Right.
I think you
Or
can...
if you were trying to win the Super Bowl. Might be important then, too.
So hold on.
Maybe not.
So, wait.
Or maybe if you were the MVP, maybe your team was coming off a bad season. Maybe, I understand the transition, and as a new head coach, I would want my quarterback to be there. But as an old head coach, or a head coach trying to win a Super Bowl, or a team trying to win a Super Bowl, or if I was one of the highest paid players in the league, I think all those things are important. Why now?
Maybe Coach's mom or someone sat him down and said just that. Lamar, you need to start going. Patrick Mahomes goes, he's got a few Super Bowls.
Yeah.
A lot. Matt Stafford went, he got a Super Bowl.
Well, Matt Stafford's hanging out in the immortal chamber. Yeah. To be fair.
I mean, maybe somebody got through to it.
So I think
I hear what you're saying.
I think Coach, I feel like you are being retroactively defending Harbaugh almost. Like that your frustration with him being there now is less about him being there now and more the fact that he wasn't there consistently previously, which I think is legit. My question, though, is the one that I, somewhat jokingly said to Brew, which is, I think this is very positive that he's there. I think it would have been hugely problematic if he no-showed it, because it is a new coach and it is a new system, and he is hoping to get a new contract, and this is the first time you can ever say he's coming off a bad year, because he's never had a bad year. For all those reasons, I thought he had to be there. It's also a reason, and people can say I'm being unfair, he has to stay. I will give whatever credit he's getting today, to me, gets removed almost entirely if he bounces.
Okay. Let's talk about this, because we got a little bit of weird takes from everyone involved right now. And so, I like this cause this is messy right now. This is genuinely messy and, clears throat, it's messy for so many different reasons. And I understand why Lamar Ravens fans, Lamar Jackson and Ravens fans have issues with the media conversation. And I take issue because I think I give very favorable non-biased defensive takes around Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. So, I hate being lumped into it, but I'm watching this and I'm smiling because I'm thinking to myself, Lamar shows up and now Mangini's like, it's still not good enough. And it's just like, oh my gosh, he's doing the thing that you criticized him for not doing in the past, and now you're saying why. This is where this is such a flaw in logic, and I talk about logic all the time and the importance of logic. And it's why just because you know a lot about something, whether it be football, whatever it may be, doesn't mean you know how to navigate conversations at the highest level. There are definitely people who can I can navigate conversations better than I'd say probably a lot of NFL players and a lot of NFL quarterbacks and coaches doesn't mean I know more about football than they do. They clearly know more than I'll ever know. And yet, I'll understand the art of conversation. I'll understand the art of logic and how these things work better than them. And it's like doesn't mean that I'm better than them. Doesn't mean that they're better than me, but it just really Mangini's take right here really just shows you the importance of understanding how to navigate a conversation and why you need multiple people in the room. Why you need football experts, conversation experts, people who are maybe even a little biased because they throw interesting topics into the fire and then you have someone else who can now navigate it and try to stick the landing and it's what makes honestly these shows great and why honestly a lot of shows when it's just players or just coaches or whatever can be kind of boring and can be kind of like, you're not really making sense here, It's like you're not you understand the X's and O's better than anyone else watching this video, but what you're saying is I don't know. Doesn't really make sense. And when you have someone that can only understand the art of conversation, but doesn't really understand the X's and O's, then you get just fandom conversations like, the Jets are winning the Super Bowl this year. And it's like, sure, whatever you say. And that's the mess that we're in right now with Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. And I think of these types of, it's not cognitive dissonance, but it's just like these little mind games. That can trip you up where it's like by Lamar now going it's pretty much saying potentially like, well, maybe I was wrong for not going in the past. And that's what Mangini is kind of trying to emphasize. And it's just like I like to think about this with relationships. Anyone who's been in multiple relationships, like you learn from the mistakes that you've made. You made mistakes, I'm sure of it. They made mistakes. Now you get in a new relationship, there's almost a self-protection measure where you almost don't want to make certain changes in a new relationship because if you do, then it's proof that you were wrong in the past, right? It's like if I was, bad at communication, which is obviously not true. I think we all know I talk a lot. Bad at communication with an ex and now in the future I make the effort to text them good morning and text them good night and it's just like, well, that I do that, it's like, well, you didn't do it in the last relationship and, that's proof that you were wrong in that. Where if I don't do that, I'm like, no, that's not why the relationship ended. That's not why we're not happy. That has nothing to do with that. And it's just like you back yourself into that corner. And someone like Lamar is allowed to grow and mature and evolve and understand and I do think there's a big difference between Harbaugh coaching and mentoring a new era, the way how this season ended. I'm and the record saying that I want these guys to show up and that if you're Lamar Jackson, you're the leader of this team, you're Lamar Jackson. The weight you hold, everybody knows. Everybody knows when you're on the field or in the building and when you're not. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. From the maintenance workers to the owner to the player who might never see the field to the player who's struggling just to make the practice squad, everybody knows. And it does matter. It does matter. And we can say, oh, well, Lamar still balls out and shows up this with that. I'm just telling you, as a player who has been fortunate enough to be a leader on a team and absolutely not a leader on the team. The guy who's hanging on just to be on the team. Like the players, and the coach like they set the tone. You follow. You absolutely follow. And you want to be better. We see this. You see this. They even do a pretty good job of showing this on Hard Knocks. When they show I remember specifically with J.J. Watt, I think at that time it was when he was with the Cardinals, I think it was. Was it the Cardinals? And you could just see some of the younger players interacting with him, learning from him. You could just see that he's setting the tone for the practice, the energy. You just see it. It's just obvious. It's as clear as possible. It's just so clear. And I remember him, one of my, final years of playing when I was playing with a few, younger guys and I was out there and I could just see I could sense them. It was really cool. It was like I could sense them, just their eyes were locked on me. And we were doing a couple drills and I was bawling in that drill. And you could just see that they were just like, whoa. Like they would I made them say, whoa. And I'm not a guy where every time I stepped on the field I was, wowing everyone. But I could feel it. They were younger. They were up and coming. And I was just like, oh, wow, this is a cool full circle moment for me. I'm the guy that's out there that's now showing the way. Like, I'm the leader. I'm the guy that's like showing them how it's done. The work and the effort to put on because I was in there. I love drills. I actually loved practice a lot because you got to work on things that I love to do. It was like specific things. During a game, you don't always get to do what you love to do because the game has to come to you. So, there was a lot of drills that I loved to do because it was like more play. It was more fun. And I would go hard at it. And so, I'm letting everyone know this is what you do. And I wasn't even doing it on purpose. I'm not trying to be I'm the leader. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. It was just what I did. And so, I let you know, so I'm just showing by example. And so, these things matter. These things matter. It's so important, ESP. Silly for the young guys, especially for the guys that are new in the league that are 22, 23, 24. It matters. It matters. And that's why I push it so much for a Lamar. And so, yeah. I think it was wrong in the past and I think it's right now. Because someone in the comments section when we talked about this before, they were like, oh, would this stop, Mark Andrews from dropping the ball and so from fumbling? And it's just you're missing the point. You're missing the point. 1, maybe. I don't know. And 2, it's just it's what you're building. It's the culture you're building. I think it's something that people really overlook. The culture, the resilience that you need with your team, the community that you need with your team, the family sense that you need with your team, the connection with coaching that you need with your team. I think a lot of people overlook that because a lot of people have only played a sport where I don't know, you play with them for a couple months and then that's it. And again, it's a dad who coached you. You're playing with a couple friends. And you had a game once a week or something. And then that was it. And it's just no. You understand that when you've actually played with the same group of guys year after year, the same coaches year after year, you've traveled with them, you've been on buses. And planes and whatever. You're away from your friends and family and all of that. It's yeah, you realize that this stuff matters. When I was younger, too, I had to live with host families and stuff and you're just I'm living with a bunch of strangers. But I got my team with me. I got my teammates with me. And it's just that stuff matters. And yeah, it does start in these moments. And it starts in these moments honestly probably more than anything else because this is when there's no pressure. This is when you get to have fun. When I think that there were certain teams that I played for where, clear's throat, it was more like a tournament-based team. So, it was less about a full season and more about we're practicing and working and growing for these next couple of months and then we're going, right? Kind of Olympic-style type stuff. It's you create those bonds, that family, that culture well before it's time to actually get after it because that's when you're able to have a little bit more fun. That's when things are a little bit looser. That's when things are a little bit lighter. You also get to learn who each other, who everyone is. And then it's that foundation that now when it is time to compete, when it is time to get after it, you have that foundation. You have that foundation. And that's what I had said for Lamar. Even if you're not really then going to play, do some of the drills, whatever. Even if you just show up, even if you're just in flip-flops hanging out and making your rounds and talking to people, it's that goes a long way. So, I do love this out of Lamar. I will be disappointed if he doesn't show up for the rest of it because I just think your presence matters so much. I am a presence-driven person. That's like my love language is quality of time. It's like, if I'm going through something tough or whatever, I remember at one time I was going through a real moment. And my mom was like, "What do you want from me?" This is when I was younger. Remember when she was like, "What do you want from me?" I'm like, "Just be here with me." You're just like, you don't have to say anything or do anything. Just like hang out. Just be with me. Same thing with my close friends and whatnot. It's just like just be by my side. I am a very presence-driven person. And it matters. You got to show up. You got to show up. And so, this matters to me. I can give the benefit of doubt when you're a younger passerby. And then I think even other players understand that. I think players like if you're talking about like an Aaron Rodgers or something, it's like I think they can understand, yeah, well, Aaron's older, that's a little different. I think that's almost its own separate category. Even though I'm on the record saying I want you to be there. I still think you should be there and all that. I could think the team could understand a little bit more. I don't love it, but it's still I could think that we can understand. But when you're still in your absolute bona fide prime and you're trying to get after it, you're trying to win, you're trying to compete, you're Josh Allen, you're Patrick Mahomes, you're Lamar Jackson, you're Jalen Hurts, you're Matthew Stafford, you're all that. It's like, I want you to show up, man. I want you to show up. It just matters. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, the fact that he's actually here, snorts, and the conversations around it? I know some fans are kind of frustrated with how the conversations unfold and the fact that we're even talking about it. And it's just like these are topics for discussion, man. I mean, it just is. It's just these are the topics for discussion and they're being discussed because the stakes are high. And the time is running out on a Lamar. Like it is running out for Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, etc., etc. So, it's just like, are you going to win? Are you going to compete? Are you going to be the best version of yourself? Yes or no? And if the answer is yes, you do these things. You do. It's that straightforward. It's that simple. It really is. So, let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment. So, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all enjoy, feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.